People of Kaladesh, whether you hail from distant fields or greenbelt towns or from our great city centers, this is your time. The Kaladesh Inventors Fair invites you, our best and brightest, to share your ingenuity with the world. As an official entrant, you may fuel your creativity with unrestricted ether access. Demonstrate that you can channel the ether into bold, new creations. Showcase your ideas, your inventions, your genius. In this time when anything is buildable, you can invent your tomorrow today!
Hello everybody, welcome. Today we were going to have Little Fight on showing you Burn, but instead it's me. So, we're here with the deck list that we're both using and running. I've got a funny card up here I'm going to discuss maybe a little bit later, but we're already loaded and ready for our round 3. As yesterday we played the first 2 rounds off, so we're waiting on it and we'll replay those as time permits. We've got 18 lands, 2 cyclers, all matching as episode 1 teaches us. Chain Lightning, Lava Spike, not much groundbreaking stuff here. Lightning Bolt, Needle Drop, Curse of the Pierce Heart, nice little tick-tock strategy. We've got 2 Flame Rifts for that extra punch, 4 Kill the Marauders, which is a frustrating card when you play against it because who wants to block it, but you don't want to take damage and all kinds of other good stuff. Plus you don't really want to kill it because it's a shock, but it's going to die anyway. And the main reason, Shirazaman, thanks for joining us, buddy. The main reason we're playing this is Thermo Alchemist, which we bragged about on Facebook. One of the best cards in Pauper that wears red. I think this card will be in Burn in 10 years from now. So we'll record this video on YouTube later, and I'll either be a liar or not. Need to know what's up. Hey man, everybody's in caps right out of the gates. Learning curve is out the door. Anyway, one of the reasons, as you saw the intro there, we finally got some Kaladesh promos to go in theme with the weekend here, and I was like, man, we got to play something that kind of has that vibe, that invention vibe, but I don't want to get run over either. I want to at least maybe go 3-2, 2-3, something like that. We're already 1-1. We lost round 1. I was playing UG Fog, which we steamroll in game 1, and then they take out most of their fogs and just bring in all the Hydroblasts and Dispels and everything else, plus they're already running Muddle the Mixture, so I'll replay that one. And then we played an interesting deck in round 2, and I was getting really nervous. We lost the first game, won the next 2, but it was a red land destruction deck similar to what I think about 4 weeks ago when we were playing. We ran into one similar. But anyway, this card's just, well, ask Little Fight. It's just hands down one of the best cards, and it's starting the problem playing this deck I've already noticed is people are already respecting it a little too much. And when it first came out, you could play this card and it was like you'd get a win off of people going, well, damn 0-3 defender, whatever, yeah, I'll take a ping, and then they start doing the math and it's like, that thing's done like 9 damage this game. So anyway, Searing Blaze, no curiosity there, especially with the metagame looking like it is, with Stompy in first place this week. And then Rift Bolt, Fire Blast, sideboard running 3 Electrickery, Hexproof, obviously a problem, Elves, things like that. Only 2 Pyroblasts. We're not really looking to get into a counter war, but extra Drake insurance too. We got Flaring Pain, very good card, and we'll discuss the rest in a bit, but I'm glad we ran the gambit there. So yeah, as you can see, we'll replay those rounds as they show up. Going against Kevo 3 here. Yes, we would like to play first. And I've been noticing this, but I'm keeping it because I keep almost every 1 land hand in Burn. Just especially if I've got 3-turn spells here and not much I can. I don't want to duress myself, so I'm going to cast the one thing we don't have to worry about. Sorcery, keeping the lava spike. If I see a mountain, then I'll obviously want to use the chain lightning so that we don't get into a fight that way. But okay, this will be interesting. Come on, land. No. All right. Well, I'm gonna go just main deck again. See if we can't. I don't have much experience playing burn, just like anybody else. I maybe play it 1 or 2 times a year. Little Fight's quite the player of it. He's always messing around with it, but I think this build's like I said, that Thermal Alchemist is just awesome. Here's that tempo of the turn I'm always talking about with Delver. It's just that real predictable play, and if you can design into it, if we hit a land here, it's going to feel really good with Searing Blaze, unless we get a daze. Oh boy. Well, I'm going to actually nuke it. I don't want him drawing extra counters and everything, and he kind of set himself back a half turn, so we'll set ourselves back and see what we can see. So we got I just posted a funny little card on Facebook for Pauperganda. It was a Nikola Tesla with the new energy counters. All our commercials today are going to be Kaladesh based, explaining the new vehicles, which are such a... You're right, when you think they're out of ideas, they come up with something like that. It's just such a neat idea. Here we go. Okay, well... Oh boy, oh boy. To blaze or not to blaze? I gotta roll with the Alchemist while I've got the out. But anyway, the vehicle mode, it's so cool. It's like your creature can literally like jump into a vehicle, a car, an air balloon, whatever, even if it has summoning sickness. It's similar to like Sprigleaf Drum, where you could just use a creature that, it's like, yeah, you're sick, but you could still drive. I guess they don't have any drunk driving laws. Yep, vehicles. It's pretty cool. Why do I need such a long name? Thanks for joining us. Like I said, everybody's in Capland today. I love it. Good times. Yeah, I was really curious too. Need to know about brewing something that wasn't so typical of a target like Burn for Thermal Alchemist, because it is such a neat card, and it feels like it belongs in that new set. Gosh darn it. I was really, really, really hoping we could... hold on a minute here. Well, we can block the... Let's go like that. I can block the ninja. That'll be fun. Kind of want to wait for... There's a nice little added benefit there. Do a little end of turn blockage. We hit another land. It should be alright. This has got some snap or something like that. Can reset us with. Should be... Uh-oh, there we go. Well, oh well. Boink! Should be keeping a tally almost on it. How much damage? I think that did 3 or 4 that outing, so kind of a fire blast on its own, but do not like him drawing all these lands. Oh, nice. Streaming the... Why do I need such a long name? Says he's streaming the Mothership and Pauperganda right now. I was so tickled the other day. I think Shirazamon and 1 or 2 other people, like in a few seconds, the Mothership's feed went by, and it was like, and I saw Pauperganda show up a few times. I was like, yes! I was like, that is awesome. Well, it's probably got a hard counter. I'm going to elect to blaze on his upkeep. I know I'm walking into a counter. I just want him to have to tap out on his turn. I'll do it right now. It's not that much of a play, but I just want to invest his time in his turn and not just walk into a obvious counter spell. So now he's like at 2 mana. So maybe the wrong play. I don't think so. I like it. So he's got to be kind of worried about the old Fire Blast backup plan here. If I drop another land, always a relevant spell. I don't like seeing the fairy, but it's not that bad with since one by itself is usually okay. Ugh. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I dropped this, snap solves it, and a counterspell solves it. If he doesn't have a counterspell, this at least stalls him from drawing out, so I'm actually going to try to burn him here. Maybe he thinks I'm holding the bolt for the extra Fey, so I can kill it in response and it'll go through. I wish I had it. I don't have much experience playing against counter. I would assume this is a very, very even matchup. Again, I'm not the top burn pilot out there. I don't think it requires too much. Just try to play a little bit slower than usual. This is one of those decks I think you can get kind of caught up in, like, just look around, especially with the Alchemist. You don't want to miss any trips or triggers. I never like dumbing down decks. Like, I think Goblins is one of the harder aggro decks to play right, but Burn is often the victim of a lot of hatred of, like, oh, you're just throwing spells at people's faces, and it is a pretty good inebriation deck to be piloting, but yeah, he's really rubbing salt in the wound here. Yeah, we thought Little Fight was going to be on board too, but he's just pulling his hair out, or what we have left of it. And that's all she wrote. I want to see... Let's see how counter happy he is. I mean, we might as well get some intel off of a loss, right? He's not very counter happy. Oops. What did I do? I turned off auto yields. Alright. So we're down the first game. And most of these decks are running the golems. I'll probably bring in, I would think, 3 of these. Electricity is really gonna pay some dues here. I'm gonna take out 2 Pierced Hearts, Flame Rift. Kind of liking the Marauders just for just their ability to eat stuff, but not that much. Let me go. I'll lose 1 needle drop just because we're a little hamstrung for mana sometimes, and I don't want to be dependent on that. It's so when things are going good, that card feels great, but there's quite a few creatures that's warranted. We got 3 Smash to Smithereens. Bring out, I think, 1 more Marauder. I'm not too keen on bringing in Pyroblast here. I want to be the problem. That's more for like a ghostly flicker or countering something that's going off. We've got so many things that can just kill stuff. I'm not too worried about it. Plus, we've got it in 3 Electricities now. I don't want to bring in the 4th Smash to Smithereens. More of an affinity move, but I think 3, just with the mana curve and the way Spire Golem comes out, should be alright. So we got 60. Let's see if I'm right. Dun, dun, dun. I was really surprised in round 1, which I'll replay as usual. Lost to the UG Fog deck and ran him over the first game. I was like, ooh, this is going to be a fun tournament. And all the counters came in, but it was amazing how long the game went. Yes, I would like to play first. Alright. Nice. Good hand. Really, I mean, there's almost no better feeling. Almost every deck falls for this too, where it's like 3 mana. It's like that is just so right, because you can get screwed for like 3 or 4 turns and still be in the game, and 2 sometimes you're like 1, like last game was like. So he molds to 6. We're gonna save our lightning bolt for maybe some fairy shenanigans. Let's cast that up. Oh, Little Fight. Good point on the curse. I just thought it was game relevant. I didn't want him to keep churning through the... I think I made the right play there with the Searing Blaze on the ninja attempt. Something was going to get countered, and I had the land that turn, so I think it edged out the logic on that one at least. Alright. Following your logic, I'll try it. Let's see if it goes through. Nice little... Now it feels good. Yeah, the background. My son's room is pretty messy, and so I just threw up one of our fancy sheets in the meantime. So, is the audio sounding all right? It's no, it's no green screen. I tried green screen, and the way I've got Twitch set up, it was just a huge headache as far as keying out the wrong things and such. So, I'm really tempted to try to bolt main, because if he has a ferry, we can go 2 for 1 here. So I'm gonna go for it and see if he bites. If he doesn't, we just drop the Marauders next. So we got landfall. So this either tells us if he's got a ferry or just holding the hard counter. Okay, well, that worked. I'll go like this then. We've got it next turn anyway. Okay. Good to know. I love TikTok decks. There was a warped artifact in some of the old... No, I don't think it's Pauper related, but I've built some decks like that where it's just feels nice and deluxe. Hey, check this move out. I was like, well, this isn't that good of a card against this, and then it's like, well, now it is. Double drop. Thanks for giving me a target. Woohoo. Yeah, I just I ordered something, I think it was from Amazon, some sort of like a better screen background so that I can get a just a solid background. Helps with lighting too. Everything gets a little bit better. So we're kind of worried about Pyroblast on our curse, but I think if he had it, he would have destroyed it by now. We might be able to go all the way with this curse. Yeah, my boy's room is one of the only quiet places in the house. We've got live right by the ocean, and so we don't have AC. We just leave the doors and windows open, so his room gets a little warm. So I wanted to make sure our audio is sounding okay, because I do have a fan in here, and so if you hear any distortions or screw ups or something that sounds a little chunky, let me know. I don't want you guys to have to suffer through bad audio. Plus, this is a good go-to deck when we want to have a fast broadcast, because everybody wants to watch the World Championships and such. All right, well, I guess we got something to do on that turn then. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Block the ninja. It's a nice little benefit of this Thermo Alchemist here. Another ninja? What sort of treachery is this? Okay, so I'm gonna do a damage. Do a damage. He's probably digging for a Pyroblast, which in this case might be good if he counters this. Oh, alright, so we're 1 and 1. At least we didn't get throttled here. And to Littlefight's logic, that curse is feeling pretty good in this matchup. So I'm going to go back up to 4 on those and pick up what to leave behind. We've got so much good stuff. I'm going to bring out a smash, so we've only got 2 now. The deck's going fast enough. I've got other ways to deal with stuff. Like in this. Let's go. Yeah, it's good to keep track. That Thermo Alchemist is bringing it. Keeping. Okay, same sort of logic. I'm going to lead off with the Rift Bolt. There was a neat scenario I want to discuss when we get to round 2's replay. It was really relevant. It was he was playing land destruction, and so I was very aware of, like, I had a bunch of 1-drops at one time, and I only had 2 mana out, and so you kind of want to burn, and it's like, no, I want to, because I can always top deck 1 mountain and play every burn spell in my hand and stuff, so it was kind of cool that way. Alright, so what's he going to fall for here? I sure wish he would counter this with a hard counter right out of the gates, but probably not. Well, since we got 2 of them, he is... I'll drop a curse and see if it works. Hard counter. Hard counter. Okay. We're happy. There's no fairies pinging us right now. Looks like he's on a pretty controlling state here. Yeah, we don't have any landfall in our hand, so I'm gonna just kind of keep moving with this flow. Alright. And because of that play, I do not want to chain lightning. I don't want to walk into a fairy. Do it next turn maybe. If I draw a land and drop the Marauders. Got a really counter heavy hand here. And that curse was a blast. Yeah, I've always been a fan of, I call them like just clock decks, or that tick-tock, where it's just every turn just tick-tick-tick-tick. I made a Wanderlust deck way long ago. I think it was like 95 or something. I forgot exactly how it worked, but it was a thing of beauty. Alright, so now we've got a little, see if he's counter happy with Spellstutter Sprite. Or something else. Let's see. Yeah, I'll draw. You know what? I'd rather, I'm just going to pull this off. I think he knows what's up. And I think I'll just hold. Give this guy a little leeway, respect with regards to the spell stutter I think he's holding. That was an interesting question. Oh. No ninjas. Well, if we bolt now, any sprites. Okay. I mean, he could have a Pyroblast, but be alright. Hopefully. I'll do the old Overload. Shock the system. And keep on moving. Yeah, I'm not going to taunt anybody today. Takes too long. Too many things go wrong. I've got hotkeys set up with stuff, so I'm trying not to text too much. That's why I got this mic in my ugly mug. Alright, let's pull out a hard counter. Almost got the math. Little Fight's one of the best people when I hear him chatting on the IC, or not ICQ, god, boy, did that just date me, on Skype and stuff. It's always fun to hear his burn math. Good stuff. Boy, he just brought in every counter spell in the book, which we're happy about. We're at 19 life. You know, I'm going to pull this off just to, like, he knows we were trying to bait the Electricity earlier. Got 2 up, 2 in the hand. He didn't fall for it. I was really hoping he would. Doink. I'm actually going to chop him up right there because we've got the extra land. Don't have a Pyroblast. That would really suck. He does. Okay. And 3 land's not going to help us, so we're just going to pretend that we've got something in our hand. Because if we draw Searing Blaze, we're going to feel like a fool if we drop this land right now. Maybe that was all he had. Let's hope. Let's hope this doesn't turn into a ninja. And it does. Searing Blaze, if he doesn't have any more counter spells, and we'll get past the spell stutter, so let's hope for that. Oh! Maybe he's holding a Daze. Well, that's not bad. We'll see if the Daze shows up. Really liking this against ninjas. That's a really convenient backside to have. Here comes a snap. Okay. We're not feeling too good about our life total here. It's coming down pretty fast, but alright. Strange block. I mean, attack. Maybe he's running like Piracy Charms or something. I'm trying to wonder why. Or some of them run Mutagenic Growth. So that could be relevant. Well, at least we've got a double trigger for the if like a Delver comes down or something like that. Sure, Electricity will get countered, but I'm thinking I just want to play it just to get something out there. Maybe draw another little counter, but I just want to activate that Alchemist as much as I can. Oh, I wouldn't say it's brutal, Shirazamon. It's getting there fast, though. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that Hydroblast was sure brutal. Alright, well, I guess I'll save my... Dun, 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 dun. Yes, our Lord and Savior is... Alright, I'm glad I waited. Boink. And in case he's running days, we'll just do this because it's the only thing relevant right there. Yeah, Pulse of Marasa, I do not want to see that card. I think Little Fight and I... Oh boy, this is getting grim, guys. Little Fight and I were playing last night, and I think that he brought some burn deck against me, and the second you see a forest, you got to be worried, because that means Pulse of Marasa. Yeah, I think I'm going to spend my afternoon, because all the kids and the wife are busy doing their things. I'm gonna look into Breaking Thermal Alchemist this afternoon. I'm not sure if it's a wise endeavor, just because it's not that... What the best way to say it is, it's one of those endeavors you can spend the whole day doing, and then you come back to this, and it's like, oh well, it fits best in burn, which I'm sure it does. But that's all she wrote for this one, guys. I'm not gonna bore it. But what I am gonna do while I load the next one, I'm going to roll to a commercial so that we can you can see the new mechanics of Kaladesh. So check this out.
Kaladesh Spotlight Energy. It's easy to get dazzled by the bright optimism of Kaladesh. Technology and imagination fusing seamlessly to create a breathtaking world. But at the heart of it all is Aether. It's the main power source on Kaladesh, and it shows up on cards in the form of energy counters. You can get energy counters a lot of different ways. There are instants and sorceries that give you energy. Some creatures give you energy counters when they enter the battlefield. Some, like Architect of the Untamed, have other abilities that give you energy. And when you get an energy counter, you get an energy counter. It doesn't stay with the creature that gave it to you. So if the Architect dies, you'll keep whatever energy you have. Hey, get back here, Architect, I'm not done. Most cards that give you energy counters also give you a chance to spend them. Rack up 8 energy, and you can activate the last ability to create a beast. Energy counters are totally mix and match. Get energy from one card and spend it on another. And energy isn't mana, so it doesn't go away as phases end or even as the turn ends. Once you get an energy counter, you keep it until you spend it. With all this energy at your fingertips, I can't wait to see what you invent. Kaladesh Spotlight Vehicles. Marching into battle is one thing. Driving into battle is totally sweet. Kaladesh brings us a brand new type of artifact, vehicles. Now these are quite the invention. Let's see how they work. Sky Skiff is sure spiffy. Each vehicle is an artifact that can become an artifact creature with the help of a brave crew. The crew ability tells you how to turn the vehicle into an artifact creature for the turn. Just tap any untapped creatures you control with total power equal to or greater than the crew number. And because the crew ability doesn't use the tap symbol, the crew can be creatures that just entered the battlefield that turn. Almost anyone can fly the Sky Skiff. Vidalcan Merchant, to the air! Weird Gremlin Thing, climb aboard! In fact, you two can crew it together. Sorry, sad Camel, your power's 0. Try again. Speedway Fanatic, great choice. Look for creatures with the new creature type Pilot. They'll have abilities that play especially well with vehicles. Remember to activate the crew ability before you have to declare attackers or blockers, or it won't get out of the hangar in time. Once a vehicle is crewed, it's an artifact creature until end of turn. Its power and toughness are where you'd expect them to be, and it can do anything a creature can do. Attack, block, or equipped, although be careful here, because it stops being a creature as the turn ends. It can even be used to crew other vehicles. Ladies and gentlemen, dwarves and Vidalcan, and everyone else, start your engines.
Hey everybody, we're back. Hope you like that. Just started this round. Just dropped a land. We mulligan to 6. What you guys think of vehicles? They look pretty awesome, don't they? What a cool idea. I was just blown away by how cool that was. And I really like need to know your idea with the crop rotation. I had a little scribble note about that right when it happened, I was like, yes! Got it right here in my notes. It's a very good call. Not sure if it'll warrant going all red. And it's interesting too, the new a lot of the new creatures like Dreamstalker that we showcased a few weeks ago. It's fascinating how that is becoming kind of this norm where it's like, okay, we'll give up this aggro for just this massive backside, and that camel cost 1 mana and was a 0/4. Be interesting how far they end up pushing that in the future, because it's not always about attacking, and it'd be pretty hard to remove that if burn becomes the removal of choice. So pretty good stuff. Yeah, Orcish Lumberjack, one of my old favorites to brew with. That's a good one. I'm gonna take a quick note here to bring in Molten Rain. Sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself in these brews, and you forget what you're bringing in, what you're bringing out. So good times. I would wish all commercial breaks went like that. It was like I rolled the commercial, got 2 of them in there, and then boom, opponent shows up. So that's what we like to see. But unfortunately, we're 1-2 right now playing burn. We lost first game to a fog creation, won the second game to land destruction, lost a close one. Well, not really a close one. It was 2-1 or 1-2, but to Delver, which I think I'm remembering now why I don't like to play burn, is because I like to play decks that just almost auto win against Delver and decks like it, and that's not the case with not the case with Delver. So I was thinking hey, this is a lot of fun. Why don't I play burn a lot more often? And I'm like, oh, that's why. Like, it's not fun when your stuff doesn't hit. This will be a fun match because we're both doing stuff and nobody has the power to tell each other no, and so we're definitely going to want to bring in our artifact hate too. I like to take little notes and circle them as things go down. Oh, good, we got a nice fat target. Good times, good times. Good to see you all again. Thanks for joining us. Trying to make this a bit of a tradition. This is, I think, the 6th double weekend combo we've done, where I keep saying it's only going to be Fridays from now on, and well, gosh darn it, we just keep bringing it. Let's see. Do the math. Float the mana. Always float the mana for Fire Blast. They might have some crazy concoction. I ran into a deck running mana Tithe, the white mana that does its thing. So, and a curse to finish it off. Nice clean looking board. Woohoo! So we're up against Boros Kitty. A little Jeskai Flare. A lot of smashes coming in. There's a bit of blue, but I'm sure I'm not too worried about it. I'm liking the Molten Rains too. I just don't know against what. Let's see. And their enchantment removals usually like turn 6, so I think we'll keep the curses. Searing Blazes are good. I'm gonna lose a drop. Both Rifts, just kind of my go-to lose card, unless the deck's not trying to really hurt us very much. I'm not sure. Do you think we need the Molten Rains? There's a lot. I really want to have the discipline to bring in all of these. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna lose the needle drops, just because I need to lose something. There's quite a few creatures running around. We've got it covered. Boom, boom, boom. I'm probably gonna lose 2 Marauders, and I'm liking the way this looks. Maybe argue a Fire Blast, but it's such a powerful card, especially against a deck that doesn't run Hydro Blast, that I think we're all set. So anyway, whoo. Yeah, I haven't been watching too much of the World Championships that are happening right alongside us on Twitch. But like I said the other day, or just yesterday, logged on, and it was pretty cool to see little Pauperganda sting. So thanks for mentioning us, whoever did it. Shirazaman, I think you were one of them. Yeah, I'll keep this. We got an Avalanche of Hate. We're on a draw, and if we draw a mountain, this is a pretty good game. We'll roll out with our little suspendies. Good times. Why do I need such a long name? Says, if you want to play for a shorter time, I'm always happy with 10 rounds of Pauper. It's not so much what the audience will absorb, it's what my sitting patience is, and Like I tell you, some of those games we played a few weeks ago where it was like 3.5 hours. It was like I was wiped out. People always kind of laugh at me when I reference, like when I used to play chess competitively, I would be exhausted, like mentally, and super hungry, and all I did was this. I'd just sit and stare and use your brain, and it really shows you what a muscle it is, because, man, it's just like I was running laps or something. That was pretty cool. Ugh, don't like that. I want to get rid of that as soon as possible. Come on, mountain. Oh, this is... I really don't want to see that thing bounced. We're at 7. I think I'll hold. If he tries to bounce it with some shenanigans, I'm going to have to bolt it. But for right now, I'll try to leave it alone. So Rosamond saw the Facebook photo. Cool. You talking about the Nikola Tesla one? Hopefully. This deck does have a lot of bounce. I hate to do this. I know I can get rid of it now. I'm gonna bolt it. Just don't want that thing coming up. Plus, we don't have any insurance on the other side, so I'll drop this out as Little Fight's notes suggest. Hopefully, we get another land. Okay, well, it did one. Oblivion Ring against Burn. That's a good sign. We just did an Oblivion Ring promo. Remember that? That was pretty funny. Let's see if he's got 2. I'll slow roll you. I think if I was playing Just Got Kitty, I'd probably bring in Hydroblasts. Not a 3-mana Time Walk that... Ugh. Good top deck card sometimes, but give me a break. Alright. I'm so tempted to get rid of those lands. I think we're going to have to wait on that. Up to 20 life. So we brought it all. Interesting. Okay. Maybe he'll be do us a favor and care about blocking the Marauder, and at least we won't eat 5 this turn. Note to self, make sure to have plenty of mana in the 3rd and final game if it goes that far. A lot of this stuff's not doing me much good sitting here staring at me. Okay, well. Does he have any extra artifacts? He does. I don't even know if it's worth it to attack here. He's going to block. I'd almost rather buy the turn, but I guess we'll roll in with Burn here. Who knows? He might think we're going to cast another one and he can't attack anyway, so we get rid of 1. I guess it works out either way. And I know it's instant, but part of playing and broadcasting at the same time is to play for a little bit of ease of play here, so I'm trying to do stuff that allows me to F6 through my turn. Yeah, why do I need such long names as Tesla would be banned if the fair happened in the Kaladesh world? I just think it's a neat PR move by Wizards of the Coast, how they're just promoting all of that. It's just a really cool universe, and then they're actually doing if you haven't checked it out, it's really interesting. Up in Seattle at the PAX convention, they have a Inventors Fair, a real life one where people, I don't know what they're showing. I'm going to have to find some stuff on YouTube and see what the deal is, but it sounds like if you've got some wacky inventions and stuff and want to wear a bunch of steampunk gear, it's the place to be. Sounds pretty cool. Alright, well, that's what we like to see. Boy, I want to really trip that, but we got to take our creatures out as we can with landfall, so we'll have a nice little Molten Rain festival. I think we're going to have to target those 2. It's alright, pretty competitive. This will be a close one. Just want to get rid of the blue aspect to be able to Yeah, why do I need such a long name? I wished I lived in Seattle too. I love that weather. It was funny. I went there about 6 years ago. Been there about 2 or 3 times, but it was when I was a little kid, and I went there with the family, and I live right on the beach, so you feel like a jackass when you go to Hawaii or someplace exotic, and it's like, well, it's about 3 degrees difference, and the water's a little clearer and warmer. It's like, and I paid how much? So that's been my argument. So she's kind of come around to the logic, and so we went to Seattle, and we went to the Underground City Tour, which is the only reason to go to Seattle. It was so cool. If you can do one thing there, screw the Space Needle, do the Underground City Tour. But what really was funny, it was like the universe was laughing at me, because everybody knows I love stormy weather, and we went there and they had a surprise heat wave we were there like I think 6 days, and it was all 6 days, and we were in the airport leaving. Our plane was going like this, and a fog bank went like this. It was just almost like to spite me. I was like, are you kidding me? It was just maddening. So let's see, I'm probably at 6 life here, but I can't really kill much of anything else, so I'm gonna drop the Chancery. Hopefully we're alive next turn. Yeah, it's I promise you'll like it. Make sure it's the first thing you do while you need such a long name. It is just, I went in there kind of a little bit like this, emotionally, like, yeah, whatever, what is this? They're probably going to be some sucky tour, but it is just fascinating. That entire city, just, I don't want to spoil it for you, but prostitution has a lot of benefits. I'll just leave it at that. And not the kind you're thinking. Lady that almost built the entire West Coast was a madam in some establishment of negotiable affections, I guess we shall say. Is I think Terry Pratchett said it best that way. I've always liked the way to say that eloquently around kids. But oh, yep, I was right. Boink. All right, so what is that? 1-1. Did we win the first one? But it's fascinating. She adjusted for inflation and all that stuff. She was as rich as the Gates, and she donated almost all of it, and they pretty much clean washed her name from any history books because of her profession. It was just such a travesty. It's the Molten Rains, let's keep them just because blue played such a crucial role there. They felt slow, but that's just a note to me to make sure to keep hands. Don't keep a one land hand going into this matchup. There, I don't know if Electrickery is worth it for the little tokens. I'm just going to keep it like it is and play a little bit better. Yes. Women are establishments of negotiable affection. Oh, come on. I want to keep it so bad. 3, 6, 9, 12. I'm going to keep it. Whoever was just talking about all that logic stuff, it's out the window. I like this hand. Sorry, I've just got so many one-turn plays here. Watch, these guys going to have just a lone missionary after lone missionary, but I love this hand. I can almost play the whole thing and get one more. It's like dunk, 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 dunk. It's intoxicating, these hands from Burn. You're just it's like some cartoon sort of version of just that power hungriness of look what the possibilities are. Yeah, let's go land. I feel like I should have gorilla shamans in this. Wrong deck, D. Oh, but it's alright. We'll wait on a land. It would be better if he plays a creature and then we drop a land. It's funny that I did that the World's Fair for Magic's happening in that Kaladesh universe, and that the Tesla conversation is happening because he was obsessed with the number 3. I've got a lot of books about Tesla, and it's just a really fascinating obsession with 3s. And here we are. 3 damage, 3 damage, 3 damage, 3 damage, 3. So maybe the Wizard of Minslow Park is on our side. Bum, 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 bum. We got any new blood in the house, or all the regulars, which we love? Gotta start spreading the word. There'll even be time now. Here is a nice little Searing Blaze target. Ba-da-bum-bum. This day just keeps getting better. Well, we'll just do it the hard way. No missionaries, no missionaries. Would be pretty epic to win with one land. I don't know if epic's the right word. It's almost typical for burn if you get a hand like this, but I'm either going to look smart or like a jackass. We'll see. I think it might be on the smart side. Come on, baby. It's a little hurt for man. Oh, God. I was a little worried there. I was like, is that the missionary? Is that the reverse fire blast? Woohoo! Good chunk. That's right. Need to Know says one land. Still win at just burning things. Let's see what we got. Oh, I was thinking maybe for some reason I've had a sense that there was a oh, that was an interesting play. Oh, come on, can we get another one? What's the play? Well, this is a kind of a guaranteed 2 damage. Really like to wait on that. And we got a blocker. I'm going to drop the Marauder. Chonk. Says Shahrazaman. Yes, Animaltronics is in the house. Thank you, buddy. That's the genius that gave us our Pauperganda theme song off of a silly cell phone video. Not even a video, just an audio file. And to boot, it was even worse because I think I was just in the bathroom or some terrible echoey effect. So if you like the Pauperganda theme song, make sure to give him a nice shout out. Give him some love because his eyes are in the chat room as we speak. I don't know why I'm toying with this guy. Don't mean to look like a jerk here. Boink! Alright, so we're even. Alright, I was going to say, geez, oh, peaso. And we'll roll to the last commercial and come back when we're ready.
Kaladesh Spotlight, Fabricate. The essence of Kaladesh is creation, invention, making things. And with the new ability Fabricate, we're going to make things. We're going to make big things, we're going to make little things, we're going to make a lot of things. Let's get to it. Fabricate, seen on creatures such as Glint Sleeve Artisan, is a triggered ability that offers you a choice. When the creature enters the battlefield, you can either put +1/+1 counters on it, or you can create 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature tokens. The number tells you how many. In this case, 1 counter or 1 token. Hey, little buddy. You choose whether you're getting counters or tokens when the ability resolves, not when it triggers. So each player can respond before you get the counters or the tokens. If the creature with Fabricate isn't on the battlefield when the Fabricate ability resolves, you'll just get the servo tokens. Sometimes you'll need extra creatures. Sometimes you just need one big creature. You have options. So get to it. Make things.
Is there more to entertainment than 500-channel TV and zillion-dollar movies? Turning the sound up and your mind off? Is there still a place where fun involves thinking, imagining, doing? Some of us think so, and we find it in a game. Magic the Gathering. All you need to play is a brain, a deck, and a friend.
Hey everybody, we're back. Oh, and I was going to go over the deck list, but timed it right again. At least the media is on our side in this way. It seems to everything be flowing well. And we are going to go over the first rounds as replays, just to keep the time constraints down. We've got a nice 2-mana hand. We're playing against Always Face. I've placed him a few times, but I always giggle at names no matter how often I hear them. Just, how do you come up with that name? All right. Yes, we're keeping. I'm talking too much. I've got to worry about winning and playing and not entertaining. So, hey, all right, Affinity. Does anybody know? Are we favored? I don't play this deck very much, so we got a ton of artifact hatred. So that should do good. And they're a little slow to come out, and that should happen on turn 2. I would think maybe a slight favorite. Very slight. Terribly slight. I'll get these out of the way here. Come on, sucker. Let's drop something. All set. Alright. Good times. Animaltronics, welcome aboard, and good to see you, buddy. I'm always curious because I know he doesn't play, so this just imagine walking into a Twitch feed like this and seeing Magic Online and not really knowing what's going on. So it's very, very interesting. Let's see. Well, I want to draw some darn land here. I'm going to take 8 next turn. I'm still going to have the patience to needle drop. No. Alright, well, we got him next turn unless he just goes supernova on us. Dun dun dun. Oh, yeah. When you see the Lord mention, that's usually our Pulse of Marasa. I think I referenced starting a Church of Marasa or something because it's just such a good card. And so if you see anybody mention that in the text, that's what we're referencing. It's just a really powerful card that gains life, which is the bane of everything that has to do with all these red cards I'm holding. Playing one of the most basic and fundamentally honest decks there is, called Burn, because it just tries to take your head off as fast as possible. It's a very honest ruler of a deck strategy, because if your deck can't stand up to it, you probably got no reason to bring it if it just rolls over to it, but you better be prepared for it. Yeah, we got this one. Boy, is this looking intimidating. And I think we only got this one because we went first. Ouch. But it'll be nice when we bring in all that hatred. So hopefully we can be in the winners column here. Chain of lightning. Lightning bolt. And the dreaded blue light up land. I always hate when you're just biting your nails and wondering, oh, does he have it? Does he have it? Oh, and you see the land start lighting up, and it's well, I guess you could play Thunderclap. That would make them light up as a nice little bluff. Maybe get a concession. Anybody out there get a Thunderclap concession off of a trick and game you're losing? Yeah, look that one up. All right, 4 smashed to smithereens. I think that's about it. Now it's a takeout. Well, Flame Rift. You know, I like Flame Rift, but it's often the thing that comes out. And I was about to take a note on that, but against other decks, boy, it can really, really be awesome. Searing Blaze. I know there's a lot of creatures, but a lot of them are 4. Yeah, I'm going to take out 2 of them. The logic being I want to see every one of these other cards. Searing Blaze, unless there's a Frogmite out. I don't know. And I don't want to be too dependent on holding on to land. So let's look at our sideboard. Stuff we left out. I think we're all good to go. So if we win this one, we break even money-wise. We'll go 3-2. Round 4, Disco Kitty. I gotta write that down. Be funny too. Animaltronics thinks about all these weird names. The name of cards, the name of decks, everything is just like some foreign language, I bet. Soaking in by osmosis, says Animaltronics. Yes, that's a good way to roll with it. All right. Well, I'm gonna throw this back. I've just gotta have 2 mana. There we go. I'll keep this. Sure, like that. Now I'm gonna try to zing the first artifact we see. Good start. I'm gonna suspend this. I think the 2 caves in this deck, 2 Forgotten Caves, are a really good call. A little clunky early on, but there are only 2. What do you think? We go for the... He's already got the Sprigleaf Drum out. I actually think we should target that. As you can see here, he's probably... Oh, well, there's that too. That at least costs a mana, though. What do you guys vote? Do I nuke the land? Or do I nuke... Speak up quickly. What do we got? We get a little vote here. We got land. Or maybe I should just save it for you know, Mer Enforcers. Keep it for Enforcer says, why do I need such a long name? Yeah, it might be a good call. You know, Curse doesn't feel that good in this matchup because they're going so darn fast. But if I don't play it now, I'm never going to play it. If I kill that, it kind of turns off the drum for a turn. Definitely for the big boys. Okay, guys. All right. This is kind of neat. It's not to boast. It's one of the few times I'm not kind of the expert on the deck. It's like I've played against it plenty of times, but it's like, still play the Curse. All right. We shall win or lose this together, my Pauper people. Yeah, one of these days I'll have to make the background look like I'm sitting on the spaceship of the SS metagame, and I can be broadcasting from the galaxy very close by. He doesn't look like he has that good of a lot of color options here, so I guess we'll save it. Nuke stuff and keep alive. Go and get you some. Okay, well, that's an aggressive play. I hope we draw our little Thermal Alchemist just so we can make that a bad play. We like this turn. Usually that's the turn you see a few 4/4 fatties come out, so we'll just play this. So now I'm responsible for the loss if we should lose. That's right. Why do I need such a long name? I'm off the hook. It's all your fault. We'll stop the bleeding. But you're a genius if we win. With an asterisk by thanking me for the first round. We shall see, we shall see. Ba-ba-da-bum. Nuke the drum, says Little Fight. Thoughts? The Prism looks like it, yeah, the drum's the tempo play, though. Well, I'm gonna nuke something soon. This is, this guy's drawing dead. Yeah, we'll just respond. If anything, we'll, cycle the cave and bolt at the end of the turn. This is looking pretty good so far. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. If he drops on a tog, floats it, and zaps. That might be the logic he's going with. Hey, hey, hey. Why do I need such a long name? You're looking smarter by the minute. No soup for you. Yeah, why not? Certainly. Kaboom. You're in kill range. Obvious words have never been spoken. Or more obvious words. Uh-oh. Here comes the Pyroblast. Or a Fling. Fling, know what I mean? That's alright. That stops him from taking damage. That kind of sucks, doesn't it? Ugh. Nice red counterspell if you think like I do. Blue. I'll drop the Marauders. Slow play it a bit. Let's see. 6 looking good to me. He's got to get something in front of that. Hopefully it isn't something that's fat. I really like these Flare Husk builds. That's a really good card in Affinity. We're talking about that tempo of the turn in a lot of our matchups with Delver, but it's relevant in every deck out there. And very good card is noted there when it comes up. That's not a good example of it, but that early turn and then turning on the Sprigleaf Drum. Pretty cool. The new artwork for Sprigleaf Drum is definitely worth getting. It's really good. Okay, so I think we're going to do it, folks, unless he's got a nice little Hydroblast stuck waiting in the weeds. Ooh. Haha. This will be interesting. I kind of like this play because he might not know we've got enough to kill him, and he might use up all his available mana to try to get us for 3 more. It's a pipe dream, yes, but just in case. Are we gonna go 3-2 even money? Hip hip. Oh, I hope he doesn't have some rage comment like, "What a dumb deck. All you do is throw stuff at people." Okay, so we went 3-2. Let's say, what was that? Affinity. And that's no slouch of a deck, Affinity, but we did lose to the other good deck. And that's that bug again. I can't see the prizes. Frustrating. Anyway, where's the new product? I clicked on it. Anyway, so we're going to go right back, I guess, to prove. Yeah, so match 1 we're going to watch right now is against blue-green, the Fog deck. And we run them over on the first round, as you'll see, and then we lose 2 close ones. I don't know if you guys want to see all of them, but we'll go through it. So this was the very first round, bringing burn to the format. I was like, I'll keep a 1-land hand. I think this is where the sickness started, because if you're just joining us, we played 3 live rounds, and to prevent time from going excessively long with an entire tournament being in one broadcast, we filmed the first 2 ones early, so we're just kind of playing it at lightning speed here. So this is the hand that kind of, I think, tricked me into that powerful intoxication of burn, where it was like, man, 1 mana is all you need in this thing. So I think that might have cost me a game, maybe even this one. We do win this first one. As you can see, the Alchemist just goes nuts in this game, noted by our hand. I mean, it goes nuts in every game that it's allowed to live. Awesome artwork too. Yep, need to know. However, there's some timing issues that you could argue that there are people that play it better than others and things, but yeah, the learning curve on burn is awfully short. So that one went kaboom, pow, zing, he's out of there. And then he comes and gets revenge big time with, hey, where's our other, oh gosh, I gotta go all the way back to the darn play lobby. I forgot about this little hiccup that happens. And we'll see me get decimated with this replay. Any day now. Oh, nice software. It hides behind what you want to showcase. Keep another 1-lander, because we learned our lesson the first time. It pays off. Yeah, need to know. I don't like burn normally, but this Alchemist makes me like it. It's just smart enough, and I think it almost adds intelligence to the deck, because there's a lot of things you can forget and timing issues, and so it makes it a little bit harder. I'm not saying by much. Lignify is a very interesting play here. I mean, playing your outs, green, what are you going to do? I probably think he would run a Hydroblast, which I think we see a little bit later, but knowing the power, that's what I was talking about. The respect that Alchemist is getting is just absurd, and so, I mean, this guy brings in Lignify, and it makes, I mean, this would have been over a long time ago. Look at our graveyard. That thing, I mean, it would have been checked by something, but it probably would have been able to at least become a Fire Blast before he goes and meets his maker or visits a house of negotiable affection. That'll be interesting, won't it? I mean, we brought in vehicles. Maybe they'll bring in a prostitution mechanic. That'd probably be a Rakdos thing, right? Got to keep it PG. Got to remember this goes up to YouTube, so watch the comments. But just for the sake of argument, I wonder what guild you could argue would have houses of negotiable affection in their title of the card there. Oh, I had to give you guys a little bit of a tour of the graveyard as it constantly is growing here. This is one deck that I do draw when they say, hey, you want to draw 2 more cards for that counterspell? Yeah, I do. Most decks I say no, but burn, I'll go for it. I thought I was going to be able to pull this off. You see him stabilize at that mana count. So I float there. I'm looking at this going, gosh, how do I lose this one? But it's just those gutsy, like, yeah, does he have it? You know, it's like he's got 7 cards. There's a counter at the end of his turn. He's using a muddle mixture. All right. This one, does it go through? No. He's got 5 cards left. Dropping the Marauders. 3. I'm going to go for it. I think I go for it. Right? Yeah. And it ends up being a bad call. Yeah, one of those plays, if it goes through, I think somebody, you just off to the next thing. Nobody blinks twice, but it's like, ugh. Probably, obviously in retrospect, a bad play. But so every time they draw a card, Jace's Erasure triggers, and this is one of the alternate strategies out there, Animaltronics. These numbers are how you win and lose the game. And I'm at 20 and he's at 3, but he doesn't care what I'm at, because the other way you can win the game is if this goes to 0, this little tiny thing, because nobody usually plays this strategy, but if you don't have any cards to draw, your game's up. So it's a nice little, almost a Jet Kundo sort of sidestep of the format, and it's like, all right, you can have all your creatures and all these spells that do stuff. I'm just going to run you out of cards. Bloody Scythe, welcome aboard. We're watching the replays of round 1 and 2. We went 3-2 today. As first round we faced UG Fog, and round 2 we faced a land destruction variant that we win. But like I said, for the sake of these not taking incredibly long lengths of time, that first game with Mill just took, I think it was like 40 minutes or something. It was crazy. Well, I guess you could add it up here, but it was I was very thankful. I was like, oh, I'm glad this is the first round and not one of the ones we're playing live. Would you like to play first? Yes. Oh. I did that yesterday too. Get so used to being trained like, oh, I'm supposed to be responding to this. It's like, no, this is a replay. You're not really playing. All right. So anyway, and we start off again with a Lignify right out of the gates, and it's just more of the same of what happened last turn, where I kind of go really aggro with the Fire Blast. My logic being, if I've got a window to pull it off and I've got 4 mana, I don't mind going down to 2 lands, and we're in a pinch. Oops. Cancel. That was weird. I fell for the interface trick again, and boom. Bloody Scythe says he's always late. That's all right. Thanks for joining us. That's what counts. Keeping the Pauper community growing, spreading the word, doing all that good stuff. After this next replay is over, to close the show out, I'm just going to go through all the Kaladesh promos in case anybody like Bloody Scythe hasn't seen it, and who doesn't want a little refresher course on the new mechanics. I don't know about you guys. Vehicle is definitely one. My jaw dropped. I was almost jealous. I'm like, why didn't I think of that? It's like, I'm always trying to come up with cards and stuff, and I've, like anybody, I've made entire expansions on paper, and in the hopes one day you'll be asked to do something like that. And I even took it a step further. Back in like 96, I think we actually put them to paper and played that way for a while as a way to save money. See, I've always been a Pauper, even before Pauper was a format. I even had a 100-sided dice that I bought, and there was a chart of the 100 best spells in Magic, and then every turn you would just get a piece of mana, or one mana of your choice. And my friends and I would just play it like that. Didn't have the aesthetic appeal. It was funny. Mechanics were there, the same game. You're playing with all awesome cards like Singleton, great stuff, but just didn't have that flavor. You catch yourself a few days later not playing it. But so I've tried them all out there, and that's come all the way full circle back to the vehicles, and it's like, oh my gosh, yeah, we're in an inventive city. We're doing all this cool stuff. It's a big party festival, steampunk atmosphere. And here's your creature, and instead of a Sprigleaf Drum to power up some mana, we're going to throw you in a air balloon maybe, and it, grants the creature a pseudo sort of haste. Not that creature, but it's in the vehicle riding. So always liking that. Well, it's nice you already know him, Bloody Scythe. They're news to a lot of people, so we're going to play him just as a way to prevent it from getting boring and spicing it up, and little refresher courses. So like I said, we do end up losing this one. Let me spread out sorry, I'm not really narrating this game. It's for anybody. We've got a few people that don't know how to play Magic in the chat room here, but for those of you that do, you see this Lignify is really paying dividends big time. Kept him in both games 2 and 3, and ended up really meaning the difference. So good example of one of those cards stretching the color pie as far as you can go. I can see that being a real big issue, because when I first saw this deck, I'm like, oh, that's fine. He's got a bunch of fogs. I'll just side out my Marauders and eat him to death with Thermal Alchemist. But he came prepared. As you can see, we've only got 7 cards left. I think he does it here, or do I just quit? we'll see. And the second round we're going to show you up next is Land Destruction, and we go 2-0 against that. So that was the first round that we lost. We ended up winning on the day. Oops, there we go. And we'll go to match 2. Game 1 we lost. And again, for some reason, the menu you want to see isn't the one they show you. So we're off to the races. Perfect hand against most creature-based decks. So I keep it thinking, okay, well, I'll just double bolt. Keep the land backup for the Searing Blaze trigger, which has landfall, if it's news to you. And he hits us with a Stone Rain, and it's white border too, and we all know how much Luxikov hates white borders. I'm a card racist. Down with whiteys. And we're just getting riddled apart. I mean, notice everything costs 2. We're stuck at 1. That's going to be relevant in game 2. I was on a quick learning curve with this. Never played it before, but I'm like, oh boy. Gets ugly fast. Yeah, Need to Know says another reason to play all-in RG enchantment removal. Not sure what that deck list would look like, but it's intriguing. And he finishes off with a Kervik's Torch, so that was a nice fast round. So he dusted us then, but then we go and get some payback. And one of my favorite things about this new format, how we're doing this, is that when I used to be done after like a 3-hour broadcast, I was wiped out and I didn't want to play Magic anymore. But these last few days, it's like, woohoo! You know, I've still got my pep. Go have some coffee, grab a bite to eat or something, and then I'm back playing Magic. So after this, you know, we'll roll to some commercials and such, and it'll be hopefully great to see you in the actual Magic Online and play some of you, maybe discuss World Championships and such. Shirazman, I saw you earlier. I didn't say nothing, but I saw your mug on the screen. We're getting hit with a raise, and now this is the game I was talking about, where we're just focused on the 1 mana. I'm really surprised I was able to get even out a second one, and he sees the writing on the wall. That's all she wrote for that one. Now off to the tiebreaker, and our last little escape for round number. Match 2, game 3. Here we go. Off to the races. God, I wish they would do that. So frustrating. You pick the screen and it's like, here's this other screen. It's like, no, come on now. We're really liking this hand. And we've got a nice target to prevent us from probably getting Stone Rain, because you put them on this hand, and I'll pause it real quick. That kind of hand signals, I've got a Stone Rain and I really want to use it next turn because I'm kind of land screwed. And I think that's what happened. We smashed a smithereened it. Get what in burn feels like a 2-for-1 when you do that. I keep falling for that. We drop. We have plenty of 1-drops, but we're dropping a 2 because we're probably going to get our land blown up by another white border. So now we have options. That's why I was doing that. So again, I'm going to roll out. Nope, I didn't do it. I think because the win was right there. So anyway, normally if he was at like 10 life, I would have suggested the curse there, because you know he's taking out our resources of land, and so we're gonna have to go that route. So anyway, everybody, let me go over the deck list real quick. There's not much to say on this. I mean, we didn't we lost to Delver. In this one, I'm actually keeping track of the notes with each win-loss, and so did we go? Can't remember. I'll have to address this later. But I'm actually counting every game in this build, and I've got it mentioned down here, so that it's not just a full-blown one. But I'll fill this one out in a little bit. But back to the actual collection and the deck. Nothing new here. Pretty standard. I mean, we've got 2 Flame Rifts main that does 4 damage to each player. Really good if you're the aggro player. I wanted to bring up this card in decks that don't have blue, which is kind of a rarity. This is just one to keep in the back burner. This used to be a thing, and if you're playing like white or black and this hits you, it's just like, oh my god, that thing is incredible. But it's slow, maybe 2 of them tops in a certain metagame. I'm not saying this one, but it's a good card. But we're running 3 Electricity, 2 Pyroblasts, mostly to just disrupt Drake and Flicker combos, 2 Flaring Pain. I'm not a fan of those. I think Burn's a little too fast to get around, but who knows. Maybe make room, maybe cut that to 1, and Molten Rain for like Tron matchups and stuff like that. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining us. Any questions, comments, concerns, blah 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 blah, ideas for the show, episode 3 coming up. for Pauperganda@gmail.com. Send us your love, all that good stuff. Anyway, we're going to roll to the Kaladesh. Make sure to check out all the Inventive Fair stuff and all the good stuff, and I'll see you in a little bit online.
Kaladesh Spotlight Energy. It's easy to get dazzled by the bright optimism of Kaladesh. Technology and imagination fusing seamlessly to create a breathtaking world. But at the heart of it all is Aether. It's the main power source on Kaladesh, and it shows up on cards in the form of energy counters. You can get energy counters a lot of different ways. There are instants and sorceries that give you energy. Some creatures give you energy counters when they enter the battlefield. Some, like Architect of the Untamed, have other abilities that give you energy. And when you get an energy counter, you get an energy counter. It doesn't stay with the creature that gave it to you. So if the Architect dies, you'll keep whatever energy you have. Hey, get back here, Architect, I'm not done. Most cards that give you energy counters also give you a chance to spend them. Rack up 8 energy, and you can activate the last ability to create a beast. Energy counters are totally mix and match. Get energy from one card and spend it on another. And energy isn't mana, so it doesn't go away as phases end or even as the turn ends. Once you get an energy counter, you keep it until you spend it. With all this energy at your fingertips, I can't wait to see what you invent. Kaladesh Spotlight Fabricate. The essence of Kaladesh is creation, invention, making things. And with the new ability Fabricate, we're going to make things. We're going to make big things, we're going to make little things, we're going to make a lot of things. Let's get to it. Fabricate, seen on creatures such as Glint Sleeve Artisan, is a triggered ability that offers you a choice. When the creature enters the battlefield, you can either put +1/+1 counters on it, or you can create 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature tokens. The number tells you how many. In this case, 1 counter or 1 token. Hey little buddy. You choose whether you're getting counters or tokens when the ability resolves, not when it triggers. So each player can respond before you get the counters or the tokens. If the creature with Fabricate isn't on the battlefield when the Fabricate ability resolves, you'll just get the servo tokens. Sometimes you'll need extra creatures. Sometimes you just need one big creature. You have options. So get to it. Make things. Kaladesh Spotlight Vehicles. Marching into battle is one thing. Driving into battle is totally sweet. Kaladesh brings us a brand new type of artifact, vehicles. Now these are quite the invention. Let's see how they work. Sky Skiff is sure spiffy. Each vehicle is an artifact that can become an artifact creature with the help of a brave crew. The crew ability tells you how to turn the vehicle into an artifact creature for the turn. Just tap any untapped creatures you control with total power equal to or greater than the crew number. And because the crew ability doesn't use the tap symbol, the crew can be creatures that just entered the battlefield that turn. Almost anyone can fly the Sky Skiff. The Dalkin Merchant, to the air. Weird gremlin thing, climb aboard. In fact, you two can crew it together. Sorry, sad camel, your power's 0. Try again. Speedway Fanatic, great choice. Look for creatures with the new creature type Pilot. They'll have abilities that play especially well with vehicles. Remember to activate the crew ability before you have to declare attackers or blockers, or it won't get out of the hangar in time. Once a vehicle is crewed, it's an artifact creature until end of turn. Its power and toughness are where you'd expect them to be, and it can do anything a creature can do. Attack, block, be enchanted or equipped, although be careful here, because it stops being a creature as the turn ends. It can even be used to crew other vehicles. Ladies and gentlemen, dwarves and Vidalkin, and everyone else, start your engines.
People of Kaladesh, whether you hail from distant fields or greenbelt towns or from our great city centers, this is your time. The Kaladesh Inventors Fair invites you, our best and brightest, to share your ingenuity with the world. As an official entrant, you may fuel your creativity with unrestricted ether access. Demonstrate that you can channel the ether into bold new creations. Showcase your ideas, your inventions, your genius. In this time when anything is buildable, you can invent your tomorrow